flat keyboards. You know, it didn't have actual keys. It was just
I had one. You know what? I had one of those. Who made it? Seiko or Timex? You remember?
Timex.
Did you have one of those little? I had one of those little Timex.
I remember those. Yeah.
And I had a RS. What was Radio Shack's called?
It was a Tandy color, and they didn't have Tandy color first.
I had color. I had color with the. It's what, 256 memory?
256, yeah. Well, the first thing out actually was the Apple. Steve Jobs came up with that in his basement, in his garage. And that came out in he managed to actually get that on the market in 1976. A lot of people don't realize that. And so Japan followed suit in 1978 and came out with the Atari 400. Okay. And then after that, it was just a sludge of all kinds of things. You had the Commodore come out. You had the Tandy color come out.
Tandy wasn't too far behind.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it is all these people were going to IBM back in the 50s. Well, not Steve Jobs and them, but there was people going to IBM, and they were saying there was no market for a personal computer, for a home computer.
Right.
And then they seen Steve Jobs come out with that, and of course, when Steve came out with his computer, the Apple just stunk. I mean, it was a mess. And but unfortunately, he managed to get in all the school systems.
But everybody wanted one.
Everybody wanted one because it was in the school systems. I think that was a smart move on his behalf.
Yeah, marketing was good.
Marketing in the school systems.
Right. To this day, that's a strong point.
They're just school systems are just now starting to switch to PCs. You know, I don't know if that's a smart move or not. It's one of them things where some people like a Ford and some people like a Chevy. You know, I mean, I personally prefer a PC, but except when it comes to video editing, and I like a Mac. I don't think you can beat a Mac when it comes to video editing. You know, I mean, as far as the new ones go, anyway.
If you have a PC and you dedicate that PC to video editing, pretty darn good.
It is, but the problem is you have to have so much more hardware inside that PC versus the Mac to get the same job done. You know, if you can soup up a PC, which I have, and I've got about 4,000 in it, and for lesser hardware, I could have bought a Mac that would do more stuff for about 3,000.
I've got my system in the truck. I'd be glad to bring it in and set it up on the table if you'd like to see.
I'd like to see it. Is it a laptop or is it?
It's a laptop.
Is it a laptop? So you do video editing on a laptop?
Right.
Man, I've tried that. I tried that on my laptop, and I have a Pentium 4 with hyper-threading technology. So it runs at it's the Pentium chip itself runs at 2.4, but it's 4.8.
In my laptop, I probably have told you this. I have two Pentium 4s.
So you're running dual core?
No, not dual core. Two.
You run into two separate
processors.
Okay, you're
two Pentium 4s at 2.8.
Okay.
Well,
that's how you're getting away with it. Yeah. Well, so you had to modify some fans then. I mean, you had
it came that way. It's got two fans.
Well, I've never heard of that.
Oh, really? I know.
Really? Boy, you've got something that must have broke the mold.
I'm telling you, you rarely see this kind of computing power outside of a server.
You don't, because
that's you usually see in a server.
Yeah, because my servers have four.
Two processors.
My servers have 4 processors.
Okay,
I have 150 servers, and each one has 4 processors.
You really do have the best toys, don't you?
A friend of mine gave it to Adam. Gave me this.
As long as I've been in computers, as much as I know about them, which is not a lot, but I've never heard of a two processor in a laptop. You sure that's not a? I mean, he actually bought it off the shelf that way.
I can show it to you.
Wow,
yeah, I'll go get it. I'll go get it. We'll bring it in.
That's impressive. It's no wonder you're able to do the video then. Because
if y'all will sit here and keep the
I was about to leave, but I'll stay entertaining long enough for you.
Well, wait a minute. Okay. Before I go, let me ask you a little bit about. There's another show that you work on.
Okay.
You work on Citizen Speak.
Citizen Speak, yeah.
Okay. Now, and I'm not going to get real. I'm not going to get real nasty. Could I ask you some brief questions in your opinion?
In my opinion, sure.
In your opinion. I saw a little bit of yesterday's show. I didn't see it all. By the way, was the show recorded?
It was.
Okay. Do you know where it is? Because anyway, I would like to, because I didn't get to see the whole show.
I can get you a copy.
But I got the impression I saw part of the last half of the show.
Okay.
I got the impression that they were making reference, if you will, to a large degree, to things on my show. Would you say that that I have the accurate impression there?
I don't know.
And I've been plugging their show today.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I heard you. I'm plugging. And I told my wife, I said that's probably just because of me. But,
no.
It's
It's the whole thing. I'm plugging.
But
they're the best advertisement I get.
Yeah. I don't know.
I want all my guys to start calling in their show.
I got to be perfectly honest with you. When I'm producing the show, I'm not paying a lot of attention to it. I'm more talking to my two camera guys, which happen to be my sons, and they got their little headsets on. And I'm talking.
You're paying more attention to what the frame looks like than what the sentence was.
So,
they said.
And Don will catch me off guard sometimes. He'll ask me a question. I'm like, I don't.
I understand that entirely. I produce music, and sometimes I don't even know what the lyrics is, and stuff like that.
You can't pay attention to that stuff.
And it's important to know that when you're doing music. But I'm listening. You know what? I'm listening to the texture of the sound. Sometimes more than the actual words themselves.
I'm just making sure back there that Don's not getting louder than everybody else.
So are you telling me that is that your answer that you do not know?
I don't know for sure, but in my opinion, I would say they probably may not have been, because they were talking a lot about Bobby Medford and reverting back to who's our DA? Ron Moore. They were talking between them two.
Stuff.
And so if they were talking about anything, it's probably.
But I was hearing.
But it might have been.
I was hearing URTV stuff. I was hearing, if you hear, this is the line I was hearing. If you hear something on URTV that you think is
you're talking about that. That's when Jonathan came in. Yeah.
But then Jonathan came in. After
I think it was probably about your show.
That's what I thought.
Yes,
yeah.
I think that because I did listen to that part because Jonathan came in and it kind of broke the monotony up. And I got to, and I know that Richard's either watching this or recording it and going to watch it later. So
isn't he though?
So
he's my biggest fan.
But I'm going to say this. I don't know. I want you.
I can't get my best friends to record the show.
And Richard
will.
But I'm gonna. He is kind of, and Richard. I don't mean this in any way whatsoever, but he is kind of stuck on the head on the stick thing. And I believe I said my piece about it, and I told you up front and in your face that I didn't think it was appropriate, and I left it at that, and we just move on.
Yeah.
That's what you do. And but I know Richard will see that, and I hope he don't get mad at me because I want to be friends. He
won't get mad at you.
I want to be friends with everybody, and everybody's got their own opinion.
Okay, now, won't you try some other tea?
Yes.
Okay, now this is a darker tea.
This is the darker tea.
This is what you said about our beloved leader. Yes, I heard about this.
Okay. And we're going to try it with some cream in it this time. Okay. And how much cream would you suggest it?
A splash, just a teeny,
like
as soon as you see that's
like
enough.
That.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's definitely enough. Okay. And I would, you can taste that, and then I would probably put I always put a sweetener in it because I like a sweetener.
Okay.
But let me.
And John's going to step out for a second.
I'll go out and I'll come back with my laptop.
He's going to get his confuser and bring it back in here.
Yeah. And you can critique the tea. Now this is a more proletariat.
I can't do that without sweetener in it.
Okay, this is a more proletariat tea.
I have got to have something sweet in that.
See, I'm kind of known for being able to drink disgusting things that other people won't touch. So, tea is, it's fine. I never put sweetener in my tea here.
So you do Mount Dungeon.
I do Mount Dungeon.
And I've been watching Mount Dungeon.
Really?
I have.
Thank you.
And sometimes I don't always enjoy some of the music that's on there, but that's just my taste.
Yeah, well,
but sometimes you have good guys on there.
Yeah,
sometimes you don't. In my opinion, that's my opinion.
Well, we are very deliberately, we don't tie ourselves down to one genre. We try and, as much as possible, have it be different from one week to the next.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's actually good with cream and sugar in it.
Good.
But you guys, now you pre-record that, but just a few days before you actually put it on the air. Is that correct?
Actually, no. Average is 7 weeks.
So it'll be 7 to 10 weeks before we see the Buckarettes.
The Buckarettes.
Okay.
Probably about that, yeah. Okay. We mix it up a little bit sometimes, and sometimes, like, we've had a couple bands, they've got a CD release party and they want the show to come out right before that or something like that. So if somebody has a request about when they want it to air, then we're flexible. We do that.
Now I've noticed something, and I'm just going to ask this question out there because there's no wrong answer. I'm just curious. The fact that a lot of times you're blue screening comes through people's jeans and T-shirts and all that stuff. Is that intentional, or is that just somebody trying to learn the chroma key in there?
Well, a little bit of background. We do it post-production. We do it all on a laptop, actually.
So you're not blue screening.
No, we don't.
That's how you're able to switch cameras. I was wondering that.
Yeah, no, we don't exactly. So the thing about doing it in there, only one camera can do the blue screen, but it will do a better job than if we do it in post-production.
Well, now what do you use for post-production? If I can
on a Mac, so whatever would be used for Mac. I don't do any of the post-production stuff.
Okay.
I host it, I do the sound, I do a lot of talking for it, but I don't do the editing, so I can't remember off the top of my head.
That's
whichever
okay.
one you do for Mac.
I have a program that I use is from a company called FX Home.com, and I tell you, it is the best program I have ever used, because even your green or blue screen doesn't have to be well lit. And I know in there you can of course get it well lit. It is called I can't think of the name of the program, but it's from fxhome.com if I'm not mistaken.
I can remember that.
If I'm not mistaken, that's it.
FX,
but I can certainly get you more information.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, you can have just because it works out so well to be able to do that. So.
Well, with the blue screen bleeding through, well, sometimes like they show up in blue jeans and it can't be helped. But it's not necessarily intentional, but we don't mind it,
right?
Because we're trying to go. Because for one thing, we're not concerned about stuff like that, because it's a new episode every week, no matter what.
Right.
That's the more important aspect.
That's understandable.
And we're doing it with no money, so it's there's just no way it can be perfect.
That's understandable
and
too.
We go for we're kind of deliberately very raw and very kind of early MTV. So if it looks a little weird, that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not saying it looks weird. Yeah. I was just wondering if that was intentional, or if it was just somebody learning.
No, but we just let it happen.
Okay.
And sometimes it can't be helped. And some of the reason why it's like that too is because. I don't know if you're aware, but for a while the motherboard in the studio was down and they were using a loaner.
Yeah.
And because of that, the cameras, like the color the cameras were getting, was just a little bit more out of whack. So one of the blue from one of the cameras wasn't quite the same as the other blue, so the parameters had to be widened. So for a few episodes, we had like the guitarist's face disappearing when he went like that and stuff. So
yeah, I've seen some of those shows. Yeah. So where somebody just totally disappears. That is good tea.
We just go with it.
You like it with cream and sugar in it.
Okay.
That is the cat's meow.
All right, Don and Richard, take note. I've got him drinking the tea. I'm gonna have him turn into a raging liberal before it's over.
That won't happen, but I will admit the tea's good.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna go have dinner. I just want to say tonight's episode of Mount Dungeon is one of the best yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Makeout Room. You should watch it if you get a chance.
Watch it. I will be there.
Awesome.
Be square.
Thank you.
Because Boger is the bass player. He's one of my favorite musicians in the area.
Yeah.
My wife can tell you that URTV is my favorite channel. She says I should.
It's my favorite channel too.
And I do. I watch it. Every time she comes in the room or something, that's always on channel 20. And she don't even have to. She's just like, let me guess, channel 20.
That's what
she'll hear some strange noise coming out of the TV, and she'll say, let me guess, channel 20.
Again, I tell people we have some really lame shows on, and we're still the best channel on.
Hell yeah.
Except for 3 different times in a week, which now they're all on reruns now until the fall. Except for 3 other times during the week, Channel 20's got the best program.
You got your program. You got to watch.
I've got about 3 programs I have to watch during the year.
Yeah, I'm fine. Gentlemen, lovely evening.
Good seeing you again.
I hate that.
We're working on some curtains.
That was my tribute to you and your send off.
Well, I was about to just say to Randy, the live hour that I've only done once so far because I've been otherwise preoccupied. I gave a shout out to you for donating that board, but I'm giving it to you to your face now.
Okay, good. Well, you don't have to, but that's good. Well, I mean, because I want to do everything I can.
Oh, have you seen yourself on the bulletin board?
I seen myself on Jen's computer. I haven't seen myself on the bulletin board.
She show it to you?
I haven't seen it on the bulletin. I haven't actually seen it play yet. I guess I'm either not up that late or whatever because the bulletin board don't start at like 2 a.m.
But you saw it. You saw your face was like this,
and somebody or something.
Right, did you see that? We laughed and laughed, and I made sure that they ran the bulletin board for about 5 or 10 minutes before I started my show today.
Oh, so if I missed it,
so it would be
I missed about the first 15 minutes of your show.
Well, that's you missed your own advertisement. That's what you missed. So.
Wow, look how thick that thing is. You can tell it's souped up. Absolutely.
It's 2 fans for its 2 processors.
Somebody just gave you that, huh?
Yeah, Adams. It was his father's, and apparently he gets like a new one every year at work and stuff like that. So it's not very old. And,
yeah, it don't look more than a year or so. Or
exactly,
if it's even
that's what
that.
he said. He says it's only a year. Well, see, I was using an old computer, and
Intel Pentium 4.
Hang on, I'll bring up the you know what I mean, and I was telling my friend Richard about it, and I was telling him, but the one thing about it, I said, you know, I think the battery's not very good because it just doesn't last any time at all. And
no, it's not the battery, it's the stuff inside of it.
That's what he told me. He says you're running 2 processors.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. You're not gonna get an hour or less.
Once this thing, you know, gets to cooking, those fans turn on high and they're just pumping.
Yeah. Yeah, mine will burn your hands sometimes on the side when I get
crazy.
to doing something.
Yeah.
But
now the Mini Max really don't draw much current.
Well, my wife, the one I got her don't have a Pentium 4 in it, and the one I got my children don't have Pentium. Each kid don't have Pentium 4, but they can literally run theirs for hours on one battery charge.
Right.
And mine won't last 45 minutes.
This I don't know. I've shown
picture's
you
on your website.
Yeah, you've seen it already. That's my.
That is a very, very nice mixture.
That's a really you don't. You really know how nice it is when you start taking the screws out and you pulling the pieces out and having a look at it.
Have you still got that?
No, I sold it to a friend of mine. He's got it in his garage. I can, if need be, we could get it back. You know what I mean? But no, I've sold almost everything I own. Let me see if I can remember how to bring up these. I know we go to control panel, and from control panel, I think.
You know what we need to come up with is a. First of all, we'd have to have a splitter on the BNC line.
Can't find the control panel.
I think we'd have to have a splitter on the BNC line, and then you'd have to splice in either an RS-232 or an S-Video, but to be able to hook a laptop up and switch from camera to laptop. Now that would be a neat little function to have back here. So a person could literally just sit here and talk and do a PowerPoint presentation over the TV, and then switch back to camera and talk.
Right. Well, when we get the switch over here, we can do that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the switcher panel.
So
yeah, just come right straight out of.
Right.
I don't know if S-Video would be the way to go, or if RS-232.
Either way, the switcher won't take RS-232.
No, but you can get RS-232 to S-Video. You can get or vice versa, actually.
But this has an S-Video already on it.
It does, and all your laptops are going to have S-Video.
Okay. Now let me see if I can figure out what will have it. It seems like there was something that showed all that stuff.
Of course, people would have to understand that just plugging an S-Video up doesn't mean that you're going to get video. You have to go in and
you have to change your parameters. Right. You'll get video, but it may not be video.
It may not be what you want. So how's the intern today?
Well, Jonathan is at Bonnaroo for the weekend, so I'm
That's not it.
filling in for him.
That is one spectacular event over in well, it's below Nashville, I guess.
Manchester, yeah.
Manchester, yeah.
Have you been there before?
That is, I haven't, but I understand that is one mammoth event.
Oh yeah.
Asheville is known quite well there, I understand.
Yeah, well represented.
Well represented by a couple of radio stations and things of that nature.
Lots
In
of
fact,
vendors.
they're going to be doing live webcasting
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I hadn't
We're
heard
gonna be
that.
doing some live webcasting. Rock. Was it Rock 104? Maybe that's doing it. I can't remember now, but one of the radio stations are down there doing some live webcasting.
Yeah, I went in 05, 2 years ago, and it was just overwhelming. It was a lot of fun, but it's just hard to believe that you get so much good music in one event. But I guess it's getting more and more well known. But I heard it was bought by MTV like last year or something, and I was worried it was going to go downhill, and but.
Doesn't that seem to be the way to make money now? I mean, nowadays all you got to do is just start a company and get it famous, and some big company will come along and give you billions of dollars for it, and you're set.
Yeah.
I mean, especially on the internet. I mean, I wish my trusty host and I wish Google would come along and offer me if they'd offer me $5 million, I'd take it so fast.
I think this would processors.
There it is.
Two processors. Shows them as individual processors.
My.
Isn't that what it is?
It's what it looks like to me, because if it's dual core, it'll say dual core, but it'll show it as one processor because they're in parallel, and it'll just up that to 4. That would be 560.
Right. And some programs will recognize this as like for something. As a single at 4 something. Because two processors at 280 do not equal one processor at 560.
560. No, it don't. I was just keeping the math simple.
Right, but it recognizes it for something.
It would be like
and some
470 or something like that. 465 or something like that. It cuts it down.
And but if you and some programs recognize it as that. Other programs I've loaded on, some of them will recognize it as that, and some of them will recognize it as this. And that's
I need to upgrade my laptop to a dual core because I got hyper-threading technology, which is basically overclocked, is what that means.
Right.
And now, but of course, I was overclocking. I used to build my computers before they became cheaper than you could build them. But back in the 90s, I would build my computers, and I overclocked a bunch of computers before overclocking was even the norm.
You burn
I mean,
them
it was
up
already no. I didn't burn them up at all. I mean, it was already. I didn't invent it. I'm not trying to be like Al Gore. I didn't invent overclocking. I had heard about it and decided I'd do it, but it wasn't the norm then. I mean, everybody would just, you're overclocking, And as long as you added enough fans and heat sinks in your desktop, it'll hold it. And I was overclocking, to show you how early it was. I was taking 380 megahertz computers and making them almost a gigabyte.
Tell me what that just was. Something with pop.
Something down here has started. Right there it is. That's
This
it right
one?
there. Yep.
Is it your updates or something?
Something was you got limited connectivity. For some reason.
I know why that is. That's fine.
Okay, yeah.
It's a new password. That's not in there yet. That's why.
That's what it was.
That's dandy. That's fine.
That's what did it.
I'll put the new password in. But anyway, so you get the. It's pretty hot. It's a pretty hot machine considering somebody just gave it to me as a gift.
I would think so. That's a nice $2,000-$3,000 gift.
I was blown away. And I was using an old Gateway 2000 with a Pentium 2 in it, and at not even 600 megahertz, I don't think. It's like 300.
If it was 2000, it probably was about. It was less than a gigahertz.
Oh yeah,
it was
definitely. It was like probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because even as early as 2002, unless you overclocked, you couldn't get in the gigahertz.
So I was complaining about how well I really couldn't, edit video, and so my friend Adam said, he says, I have a computer at my house. He says, a laptop that I'm not using, would you like it? And instantly I said, yeah. because I knew it'd be better than what I had. And then when I saw this, and I asked him 3 or 4 times, "Are you sure you want to give me this?" "Oh yeah, I'll get another one." You know, and so it, you know, and it's been great. But what a gift it was, you know. And then, but this is what it takes to edit video to go with this. See, and
External hard drives, is that what you're doing? Is that what that is?
External hard drive is down here.
Yeah.
The external burner is there.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a.
And there's more I don't even have here that I didn't bring with me. The rest of the. I have a thing with a T-bar on it and all a bunch of jog wheel and stuff. You know.
If my wife is watching this, she's about to learn something that she don't know yet.
That you have something.
Something's on the way.
You have something you didn't tell her about yet.
Something on the way.
Does she like?
And it's not a baby.
Does she like monitor you?
No, I'm just kidding. But I have because I thought it'd be a nice addition to the production company, JVC mini DV.
Camcorder?
No, it's a mini DV recorder player, just like the ones you have in the studio there. Except it takes the larger ones to the all the way up to Super 8, I think. I may be wrong about that. Mini DV and
this takes the larger larger DV tapes.
Yeah, I think that's correct about
ours
this
take
one.
both sizes.
But the thing that's nice about it,
Well, you got the JVC.
It was a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that in it, but it's also got a 250 gigabyte hard drive in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got a DVD recorder in it.
Right.
DVD recorder and player in it, all three in one.
So you can just
So I'm going to take the DVD
direct
recorder out
transfers.
that I've got, and I'm going to put that in there.
Uh-huh.
I think that with the right compression, which it'd be MPEG 4, which is not going to be.
Right.
You can do MPEG 4, and it's not even as though you've compressed. I mean, it
looks good.
It's very good video.
I agree.
I think with that, I can go straight to the hard drive. I could probably do a 6 or 8 hour show straight to the hard drive. 250 gigabytes should do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're going to get it's about 1.5 megabytes per minute.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I should be able to get about 6 to 8 hours just straight to the hard drive if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I'm curious about that it don't explain though, and this is just I'm going out on a limb hoping that it'll do this. If it don't, it's no big deal. But if it does, it's an added bonus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that it will allow one of the 3 to play at the same time one of the other 3 are recording. I would imagine it would, but I guess it depends a lot on its output. Which it has more outputs than it has inputs.
It should for a couple of reasons. It should because it should allow you to play one while
that's what I'm thinking.
While encoding on
it
on
does
the
say
other
that you
one.
can. It does say that you can go from DV tape or the hard drive to the DVD
and
or
so
vice versa.
Right,
DVD
so
to
it
hard
should
drive
not.
or whatever.
It should not make you have to be making that. If it should be able to play one and record on one, and they should be able to do that together or separately. Good luck, though. You never know.
You never know. I mean, if it don't, it don't. But
right.
I hope it does because if it does, it'll allow me to
to have B-roll
when I'm doing the show.
You can have your B-roll while you're still recording.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
It has
but that's not a real bad problem because look, for what $35 you can get a DVD player.
Yeah.
That is small
yeah.
and you can put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're right.
So you can have your B-roll.
You're right.
You won't lose that.
But I hope it doesn't. I'm going to be replacing my DVD recorder with that. And you seen my box I had yesterday, but I didn't show you the inside of it. I was in a rush.
I got a pretty good idea. What's
hungry, but I made it pretty nice. I'm not a carpenter, so some of the shelves are a little.
Oh, you did some of the carpentry in it?
I did all the carpentry in it, but they all pull out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got my mixers on the bottom, my audio mixers, and in the center will be that new thing I got right now. It's the DVD recorder.
All right.
And then on the top I've got the text generator.
All right.
With the keyboard, and then on the very top of it I have the switcher, the video switcher, and then on the back of it I put I cut out a shelf, and so it was 3/4 inch.
You better run.
3/4 inch shelf. I cut a hole out in the center of it so I could mount it on slides like a cabinet slide, and I put cross boards in the back, and I mounted my little monitors. I've got little 2.5 inch monitors. So I mounted them all through there.
Are they flat screens or are they?
They're just little monitors. They're not flat screens, but they're only about this wide. I mean, they're just little bitty monitors. and they even got sound on them, little speakers. But I don't use the speakers. But anyway, so I've got them.
What size is the screen?
They're 2.5 inches, 2.5-inch screens.
Okay.
And so they're pretty good. I mean, they're pretty good size actually. You think 2.5 inches, you don't think a lot, but you can see a lot of detail.
Well, are they not? And aren't they flat screens? I mean,
they're flat.
They're not cubes.
They're not LCD, but the other
plasma.
Not plasma. What are they? There's one more. It's not LCD.
Not
it's like a liquid crystal. When you touch it, it does the.
Yeah.
But they call it something else.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember what it is now. But anyway, then I've got the bigger monitor, the big 7-inch one at the top, and that's my actual feed out. I can actually see now what they're seeing on TV, and then that pulls up, and I have a little bolt that I put in it, and I push the bolt through, so it sits there. So I'm sitting there, and I've got all my screens in front of me.
It's a flat screen.
It's a flat screen. I've got all my monitors in front of me. I'm doing everything I need to do, and I'm ready to go. I just pull the bolt out and push the bolt back, and I was unpacked in 10 minutes, and I was packed in 10 minutes.
Good. Does do Don or any of them give you any money to do that?
No, it's all on me. Mm-hmm. I fund it all, but on the other hand, I go out and I should say that I have been.
You can do music
will be
videos,
going out. I'm trying to do commercials and infomercials and anything. If somebody needs a wedding, I probably shouldn't be trying to advertise, but you know what I mean. If they need a wedding or bar mitzvah or a church event or anything like that, I even got some business cards I finally printed up. I finally broke down and done that.
You could do a heck of a porno video, couldn't you?
I don't think I would.
You
do
got
that.
the lighting.
I don't think I got lights. I don't think I would do that. Just from a moral standpoint.
Oh, brothers, are they those the two children?
No. The name come about. A good friend of mine out in Colorado was supposed to be moving into Asheville, and we were going to start the production company together, and we consider ourselves as brothers.
Mm-hmm.
That's how close we are, and so we were just going to call it Poor Brothers Productions because basically we funded everything, or he didn't fund anything. Mm-hmm. It's a long story, but as the story comes about, because I'd already got a trademark and everything on that on this whole graphic.
It looks good.
And
I get to keep this. I think
you do. And as it turns out, and that's my cell phone number, just in case you ever want to call me on my cell phone, which you've never even called me at home, so it doesn't matter.
I think I did once.
Did you? Okay, I don't know if you did or not. You may have, but anyway, I think you did one time. I think you had a question for me about something, but. Anyway.
Oh, and that's something else I meant to tell you, because you had called me and, remember talking about the microphone issue and stuff like that. And as you know, I have a thing, too, that will handle 2 microphones. Mm-hmm. And so if you ever need to borrow that, you're welcome to borrow it. It's in there right now. But see, coming in here, you could put yours into these 2, and you could put mine into those 2. So, and that would give you 4 more microphones, give you 8 mics.
8 mics, if you need
with phantom power on them. Does yours do phantom power, or this little thing does?
It'll do phantom power, yeah.
Okay, this little thing does for phantom. So.
But anyway, as it turns out, he never funded anything, and I kept buying all this equipment, and one thing led to another, and now he's not moving to Asheville, and so I kept the name, but basically the corporation, the company, because now we're an actual corporation. Mm-hmm. Is basically just me and my wife and my 2 children. Well, they can't be my 2 children because they're underage, but technically they own 10% each of the Poor Brothers Productions.
But if you put both of them together, aren't they old enough then?
They would be if you put them together. But unfortunately, the United States won't allow anybody under 18 to own a actual company. Mm-hmm. And so, but I did a whole little thing for them, printing up little
stock dividends or so, whatever stock.
Because I plan on taking this company just as big as my hosting company's been. I really hope this thing works out and grows. And
this may take more hands-on.
It will. It'll take a lot more hands-on, and then you're just dealing with a local area of people rather than worldwide. So it'll grow slower. But there's not a lot of competition out there when it comes to filming stuff. And the competition that is out there, I've been to their websites, and they're charging $8,000 and $10,000 to film weddings. Mm-hmm. And I know why they charge that, because it's time consuming.
But you do it for half that.
But I would do it for $2,000. Mm-hmm. We're talking about 5 hours of filming. Up to
but then you got the 2 children for slave labor.
But they own 10% of the company, so they would get 10%.
They enjoy it though, don't they?
They do, and they would get 10%.
They don't. I bet they don't complain at all.
They don't
about doing
complain
it.
at all.
Well,
They
sure
come
they
down
do.
here and they love it, and
Right.
they get a lot of enjoyment out of it. But
Right. And indoctrinated on the side by Don, who would run a line of rhetoric like it's the truth.
They don't pay no attention to him either. they're more listening to me and trying to get their camera shots.
I bet they are.
This is a lot of experience for them.
Now, you see my new tripod?
I did see your tripod.
And you see what a small footprint it has.
It has a very small footprint. It's like my smallest tripod. It has a small footprint like that. My bigger one.
If we're gonna run tripods in here, that's what we got to do. We got to have those.
Got to have small footprints. Yeah.
Right.
Now I said I would never ever buy an expensive tripod when you can always go to some local store and get them for $60 or $70. But last night I found out for the first time why you would prefer a $300 or $400 fluid head versus a $69 fluid head.
They were smoother.
And that was when I told Randy to do a sweep of everybody,
and it went,
yeah, and he didn't. And I was talking to him. I said, unlock it. And he goes, it is unlocked. And I said, are you sure? And he goes, yeah. And it was just going.
Go check that one out. Go check this one out. This is not a fluid head, and the lock is directly in the back. I think it's already unlocked. Just move it. Yeah.
Wow. That is.
That's West German built. It's nice and smooth, isn't it?
That is very smooth. Can I check the?
Yeah.
See, now that's the problem they have with my tripods is, see how I'm putting your head at the top of the screen?
Mm-hmm.
That's the shots I try to get them to get.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is when they unlock it, they either get this
Mm-hmm.
or they get that, or if they've got it locked, it'll go to there or it'll go to here. And they try to scoot it back down, and it just pops to there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, ideally, you know, on your screen, you want about 1/8 of an inch above the head. Of course, I know with your show, you like it higher.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when you're doing a regular show, you want it just above the highest person's head.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, that is a nice fluid. Where do you want this thing back out?
Anywhere you want
He
to
had
put it.
kind of zoomed in on us too. Didn't he?
Yeah. Put it over here where you got your. You're going to be over here, so get more of you over here. All right, lock it down.
That is nice. Now, how would somebody go about?
That's a Linhof. I don't even know if they make those anymore. It's probably as old as I am, close to it. West German built.
Did you pick that up at a yard sale?
Goodwill Industries.
Goodwill, okay, because there was a yard sale over in West Asheville the other day. I passed by, and I couldn't stop. I had to keep
Saw
going.
something.
They
like
had
that.
a couple of tripods out there. I didn't know what they were, and I told my wife, I said, I'm going to stop on the way back, and they were both gone.
Oh.
And I'm sure they were probably just $5 or $10 or less, maybe just $2 or $3. People don't realize what they got when they.
Well, that was a Linhof, and I was in with my friend Randy, who he's a video guy. He works on movies. He's a union guy, works on movies, and he's real good rigger and grip, and sometimes best boy, whatever, you know. And we like to go thrift shopping, you know, when he's not working on a movie, and so I said, let's go hit the Goodwill, and we went in, and he pulled it out, and he says, look here, you know, it says West German on it, and I looked over, and I said Linhof, you know, and he says, oh, you know the brand name, and I'm like, yeah, I know the brand name, and he says, you want it, and I said, yeah, I want it, and so he found it, but I got it, you know. So there.
I'm going to look that up online. That's Linhof, L-E-N-O-F.
It's written on there.
I couldn't tell.
I can't read it either.
If I get somewhat close, I think
it'll say, "Did you mean Linhof?"
Yeah,
it's German.
Or Lenin or Obama or somebody.
Hey!
Sorry.
Oh, you got your guitar wrapped up in a blanket. Is it chilly?
It is.
Okay.
I wanted to wish my friend. I'm sorry, I came in and interrupted your conversation.
The shop water.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
Shop lock?
no, I said he has to make the shot wider. Now we have another guest. We've only got 10 minutes, so you bet.
Well, it's a quick song.
All right, come in and give us a quick song here. Here, move the teacup and some stuff out of your way, and pull that little square thing over closer to the edge of your table.
And the reason for me.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, take it.
The reason for me doing this
Uh-huh.
is because my friend Colleen Rawlson's birthday was yesterday, a very dear friend of mine, and she asked me to play guitar at her house, and I didn't. Just because I just
Didn't.
Well, I got busy. I just got there, and I didn't mean not to play guitar. So
Okay.
I thought I'd just play something for her here. This
Okay.
was her birthday yesterday. There's no words, and of course, I play sloppy blues. So
Well, I thought that I've been trying to set up a jam. You know, when you were here before, and Moss wouldn't jam with you because he had
we have to do that.
he
Well,
had
so
his
tomorrow.
own. He only
What
had
time
his.
are you on tomorrow?
Tomorrow might be a good
Tomorrow
time.
may be a good time. Yeah, because that'll give me a chance to bring stuff out.
I tried to get Dr. Gordon up today, and I thought, but
I should. I'll just do a finger pick.
yeah, you should face a little more into the mic.
Didn't hear it okay?
Oh well, I'm about to find out. I will. Go ahead. Kicking it. What is the name of the song?
Happy birthday, Colleen.
Happy Birthday, Colleen Blues.
Well, it's not much, but